Thank you for the food, Eltcreed.
You're welcome. Thank you for the company.
He really did pay for Ulrich. I closed the distance between us as we walked and wondered about their relationship.
Do you want me to hold your hand?
I'm walking closer to protect you.
Oh yes, there was that. I forgot.
Forgot? If you really are the ruler of this district, I would like you to be more aware of your position.
I am perfectly aware of it. I merely forget to be cautious.
Eltcreed. He laughed and I realized he had been trying to wind me up again.
I'm kidding. Alright, let's go back to the bank. I still need to do some office work.
Got it. I'll protect you on the way.
Nobody is going to attack me in broad daylight, but thank you. I'm counting on you.
Oh, hello, Elt.
A tall, well-dressed woman appeared practically out of nowhere. This dress. The plunging neckline allowed an almost full view of her breasts, and very little of her shoulder was covered either. Scandalous. Additionally, the fabric was very thin. I was unsure where it was polite to look. I mean, you can't go wrong with the face. How can she wear this in the middle of the day? I looked around and realized I was the only one flustered. Eltcreed's expression was completely unchanged.
Good day to you, my lady. Is something the matter?
No, not really. I saw you and wanted to say hello. I'm looking forward to the gathering tonight.
The woman wished him goodbye and left. That's some very strong perfume. I looked at Eltcreed, still numbed by a cloud of scent. A gathering? What gathering?
There's to be a gathering of the rulers of different districts. I expect it will involve dancing, dining, and discussions.
Ah, the 3 Ds.
To call it boring would be a gross understatement. Alas, I cannot be seen absent. I shall attend and act as though it amuses me.
I see. I can empathize with that. I was also dragged to various balls and social events in the Heights.
Balls? Yes, I suppose a knight would. Can you dance well?
I think you know the answer to that.
Very well. I will not press you for it. Onwards to the bank, then.
Uh-huh. I don't think I've gotten out of this. When we arrived at the bank, employees immediately began approaching Eltcreed. Their conversations were filled with words I didn't know, and they disappeared as soon as their business was concluded.
Well, that is much more work than I imagined.
It would appear so. Not that I understood what he was working on. I looked at the tall mountain of paperwork which had appeared on his desk in our absence. Obviously, there was much to get done. Is there anything I can do? I doubted that, being a guard, I could help, but I tried to ask anyway.
I would like to have you help me, but you don't know anything about banks, right? You can stand by over there.
Got it.
You could also give me a shoulder massage. That'd make you my favorite in no time.
Huh?
Please, also touch my neck while you're at it. That's my one weakness.
Neck kink. Gotcha. Weakness. Weakness. Oh, I see. You want your guard to know your weakness so you can be better protected.
Huh? Sure. But I would like you to touch it a little more violently than that. Because it's you. There is something called the thyroid gland here in the neck. Stimulate that and my productivity is increased exponentially.
Productivity? I thought it was your weakness. I ran my fingers over my own throat, curious what would happen. Huh? I feel nothing.
It doesn't work if you do it yourself. Come here and let me. Actually, no, I have so much work.
Well, at least you're responsible.
We will continue this another time. And not here. Somewhere wonderful, all right.
I see. All right. Eltcreed sat down and began to leaf through the paperwork. I watched him work and touched my throat again. I feel no burst of energy. So confusing. Time passed. Okay, throat is not Cyrus's kink. Gotcha. Well, we'll have to see if he follows through with his promise, I guess. We'll reserve judgment for now. He worked and worked, but there was still more to do. All I did was watch. It frustrates me that I can't do anything, but here we are. I was a guard. There is nothing I could help with. Besides, I suspected the information Eltcreed was handling was sensitive. I wasn't sure whether I would be allowed to see it. He's so quiet when he's working. Whenever I peeked at his face, his expression was stern and serious. He didn't say a word as he ran his pen over pages of text. From his office, we could look down on the first floor of the bank. Sometimes he stopped writing, rested his chin in his hands, and watched the people go about their business below. The ones who noticed him watching bowed their heads, and he nodded to acknowledge them. He seemed a very different person than compared to the Eltcreed that joked with Ulrich. Older and mature. Normally he talks so much you'd think he'd die if he doesn't, but now I was surprised to see this side of him. Eltcreed is a strange man. It was evening by the time Eltcreed finished his work. A bank employee arrived to carry away the paperwork. Eltcreed stretched himself.
Good job today, me.
I don't think you're meant to say that about yourself, but good work, Eltcreed.
Yes, you too. Watching me the entire time must have been boring.
It's part of my work. I don't mind. Shall we go home?
No, I need to go to the gathering now. There is no dress code, thankfully.
I see. Will I accompany you to the gathering?
Yes, I would like that. The streets are more dangerous at night, and it seems like the event will be more fun with you there.
Mentioning danger and fun in the same sentence. He either had too much optimism or he was exaggerating the danger. Either way, my job doesn't change. I just need to obey his orders. Got it. I'll accompany you.
Oh, that isn't the reaction I expected.
It isn't?
No, never mind. It doesn't really matter. Let's go.
Okay. You were expecting her to kick up a fuss? Where is this gathering?
Inside Liberalitas, but the sponsor is a territory next to ours called Industria.
A different territory. There seems to be numerous opportunities to meet.
Yes, of course. Liberalitas isn't self-sufficient. We need to extend the hand of trade to survive. We have this type of event occasionally to forge better ties, share information, that kind of important work.
Since different territories send their rulers, there must be a certain amount of danger. I will do my utmost to protect you.
Thank you. We have a friendly relationship with Industria, but the other territories... well, it's complex. Nowadays, there are even terrorist groups. It's all very exciting.
Terrorist groups? I don't think exciting is quite the right word to describe that. In stark contrast to my worries, Eltcreed was in an excellent mood.
Oh, a florist. Let's buy some as a gift.
So there are florists even in the depths.
Of course. Why wouldn't there be?
I suppose you're right. I just never saw any in the Sanctuary District.
The people in the Sanctuary District struggle to survive. Flowers aren't edible.
Well, it depends on the flower. He looked at the flowers arranged near the front. Ah, I love that song.
Lavender's blue, lavender's green. When I'm a knight, you shall be queen.
Is that a poem?
Technically, it's a song. When my mother was alive and I was young, she'd sing it to me in the evenings. I have no talent for music, so I don't remember the melody, but I remember the words. I always remember it when I see flowers.
I see. Eltcreed lost his mother, then. I was wondering about his father when he put his hand on my shoulder.
Now that we're here, I'll buy you flowers, too. Which do you like?
Oh. I mean, so far he likes when we go along with his whims, so thank you. And I like lilies, please. Thank you, but... He looked at me, waiting for an explanation. I laughed in discomfort. I know little about flowers. I couldn't tell you which to buy. You can select whichever you like.
I see. Would you like every flower in the shop?
They have trees over there, too.
The trees, too. How about it?
You are insane. Everything. I appreciate the sentiment, but the trees would be difficult to carry away.
You only need what you can carry? That's an odd way to live. I was joking. I will select something that's perfect for you. The shop can have it delivered to the mansion.
Thank you, Eltcreed.
You're always welcome.
Aw, so sweet. When he's not cutting off people's fingers.
Now then, we have the flowers. Let's go to the gathering. I'm sure it will be dreadfully boring. Look forward to it.
Look forward to it, he says. Eltcreed laughed with satisfaction when he saw I didn't know how to respond. 'Cause of course he did. We arrived at the gathering. This is incredible. The moment I entered, I felt like I had been dunked into a bottle of scent. The air seemed almost misty with perfume. It seemed like this was normal. Neither Eltcreed nor any of the others so much as grimaced.
Oh, there you are, Elt. The meeting has already begun.
Oh, it's the woman from earlier. I had been a fool to think her dress from earlier was extreme. Her current attire made that one look modest. It's not even clothing. At this point, it's just underwear. I really wish we could see this. Unable to look at her directly, I kept my eyes on the floor.
Oh my. Who's this lady with you? Elt, is that your...
Oh, no. She's my bodyguard.
bodyguard? Her?
When she leaned towards me, my vision and my sense of smell were both overpowered by the force of her presence.
Yes, she was born in the Heights. She's a true sword master.
Eltcreed!
Heights? Elt.
The room went quiet as soon as he mentioned my birth. Whispering began. Are you serious? You brought someone from the Heights here?
If anyone does this, it's you. But she's a criminal, right? Why did you bring her?
Not to mention how seedy and suspect she looks. Seedy? I was about to protest, then remembered that I was there as Eltcreed's escort. My most appropriate course of action was to pretend I couldn't hear them. But it's hard. I was a stranger to these people, yet they hated me simply for where I was born. Eltcreed whispered in my ear as I bit my lip.
Pay them no mind. They don't hate you personally, only your upbringing in the Heights. Most people in the depths hate those born in the Heights. This will happen again.
Eltcreed. Then why had he brought me along? Probably to get you used to it early on. I understand that I'm here for his protection, but... if I'm here for protection, why introduce me like that? Among the commotion, a man I presumed to be a different ruler approached Eltcreed.
Mr. Valentine, is she really from the Heights? If she is, then... Well, surely you understand. Please have her leave the room.
It's true, but she will not leave. She is my bodyguard. Let's see. I shall have her stand near the wall. Will you accept that?
The man gave a frustrated groan, but offered a reluctant nod. There were no other objections, and a measure of order was restored.
There we have it. I do apologize for this, but could you please stand near that wall?
Yes, of course. I shall be the best wallflower. I nodded, retreating until my back hit the wall, and as soon as I'd done so...
Eltcreed, it's a pleasure to see you. I've brought wine made from my territory's grapes. Would you like to join me for a glass?
Gladly, my lady.
Hey, that isn't fair. I want Eltcreed's attention too.
Of course, my dear.
What shameless advances on a man. In the Heights, contact between unmarried men and women was strictly regulated. Anything beyond superficial interaction was forbidden. Interesting. The free intermingling I was witnessing made me feel embarrassed. No, I can't look away. I'm his bodyguard. I have to look. I remained as impartial as I could, but the scene unfolding was still startling to me. Eltcreed seems rather popular with the ladies. Most of the women at the gathering seemed to have their sights on him. Whenever one of them left his side, another took her place. And they did more than talk. They linked arms, touched his shoulder, whispered to him. Eltcreed, being who he was, seemed to like the attention. He drank alcohol and engaged them in conversation. He told me this would be boring, but he certainly looks both happy and slightly drunk. I, on the other hand, felt like a ghost, unacknowledged by everyone in the room, a formless entity near the wall. All I did was wait. Nobody came to talk to me or looked at me. I felt like air. It's part of my job, but it still hurts. It was very late by the time the gathering ended. You must be starving, although you had 2 big meals, so that will help. Eltcreed was very drunk, and I all but had to drag him back to the mansion. Midnight was long past. All right, Cinderella, let's go. 2 servants were waiting for us. One of them took Eltcreed's bag and made a swift exit. He said something about wanting water on the way here. I told the other servant to bring water and close the door behind us. I shook Eltcreed. We've arrived, Eltcreed.
Where are we? Oh, the bank.
No, Eltcreed. We're at home.
Oh, home sweet home.
How much did you drink, Eltcreed? Eltcreed sat down on the floor behind the door and smiled up at me. Uh-huh.
Not all that much. The problem was the strength. May I have some water? If I could drink some water, I'd be back to normal.
Okay. I highly doubt water has such magical effects. The servant brought cold water in a glass, and I carefully handed it to Eltcreed. There, drink.
Thank you very much.
He drained the glass in an instant. Then he took a deep breath.
Back to normal.
He was almost immediately back on his feet, all trace of a slur gone from his voice. Is this the magic of carbonated water? Huh? I was still trying to wrap my head around the sudden change when he gave me a nod of appreciation.
Thank you for guiding me back here, and apologies for keeping you awake so late. Thank you very much.
Oh. No, this is my job.
It's hardly enough to express my gratitude, but let me escort you to your room, my knight.
He gently took my hand. Escort. This seemed a little strange to me, but I accepted his hand. Smiling, he led me to my room. Oh boy, this is trouble. The mansion was large, but it was hardly a long distance from the parlor to my room. Escorting me for a few dozen steps is so strange. Thank you for accompanying me.
Oh, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you for the evening. I hope it wasn't too painful.
What do you mean?
I talked about your birth at the gathering. I wanted you to know how they feel.
How they feel?
Yes. I am infatuated with the Heights and love everything about it, you included. I can no longer see faults in it. But others aren't like me. Some of them dismiss anything remotely related to the Heights. As my guard, you will meet many others like them in future. I wanted you to know what to expect and to steel yourself. That said, I need to apologize for your treatment. Simply abandoning you when you were unable to participate was wrong.
Oh, I see. At the time I hadn't understood, but he'd done it intentionally. I was surprised, yes. If that was your plan, then I approve. There is no need to apologize. I suppose I expected as much based on the reactions of the townspeople, but thank you for giving me the chance to understand how much they hate the Heights. And since I also learned what a considerate man you are, Eltcreed, much good came of it.
Huh?
Thank you for doing so much for a mere bodyguard such as me. I will not allow you to be wounded due to my oversight. You can be sure that I will protect you. Surely you are tired as well, Eltcreed. Good night. Huh? I thought Eltcreed was going to leave, but instead he closed the door. Uh-huh. He embraced me without saying anything. Eltcreed?
The others aren't like me. I knew that. I should have let you get accustomed to that slowly. I was so rash. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm so very, very sorry.
It had hurt me and confused me at the time. Kind of like how I'm hurt and confused that we don't have a CG for this touching moment, but fine. But now that he's explained his reasons to me, I can't feel upset anymore. And yet I'm all right. Really. I'm all right. Please, don't worry.
Cyrus.
There was a long silence. We were so close I could feel his breathing. Would you please let go of me?
I don't know. Choosing your own spouse is outlawed in the Heights. I'm told that since the government assigns you a marriage, the people don't show their attraction to each other. Are you the same?
Attraction to each other?
Yes. Do you feel anything right now? Do you see me as a man? A member of the opposite sex?
Eltcreed, are you still drunk?
Somewhat. But my thoughts are clear. Allow me to ask you then. Have you ever been in love?
I'll bring some water. Sir, I believe you need more water. Okay, if he says he's not, you know, he's slightly drunk, but his thoughts are clear, probably wouldn't appreciate me bringing more water. This implies that she was, but unless she was in love with Finn and didn't admit it, I kind of would be surprised. I don't know anything about that. go with this? See, either one of these. I don't think it's this. Let's try this. Nice. Okay. Let's look at our status. Well, things are going well. Of course not.
Yes, I expected as much. You were embarrassed to wear a skirt, too.
The skirt has nothing to do with it.
But it does. A skirt fans the mind of men, though I suppose it depends on their tastes.
Some well-fitted pants. I'm just saying. Eltcreed broke the embrace and took my hand.
Here you are free. There are no laws that say who you can and can't love. You can follow your heart. I wonder what kind of man will make you a woman. Am I inadequate?
Eltcreed kissed the back of my hand.
I hope you can find it in yourself to love me. I will show you a world you didn't know existed.
Eltcreed?
Just kidding, my knight. I'm winding you up.
What?
I was so popular with the ladies at the gathering, and yet you seem perfectly unperturbed around me. I was wondering why.
Well...
You were born in the Heights. That's why, and I understand that now. However, what I said earlier is still true. There are no laws here to constrain your feelings. Please, try to fall in love. Women are at their most beautiful when they're in love. And if you fall in love with me, that would make me infinitely happy, but I won't force you. Matters of love aside, I would like you to stay with me as my bodyguard. There is unrest as of late. One cannot be too careful.
Really? It looked so peaceful.
It looks peaceful, but only because we do our best to give that impression. It's also my job to protect this territory. Numerous bodyguards have already lost their life for me. I'm not joking. Please be careful. Now then, sleep well and sweet dreams.
Wow. I mean, what else can you say after that? His final revelation was disturbing to me. Love. Relationships. Being a bodyguard. Things I could have spent an entire day discussing had been thrown at me in quick succession. It was making my head spin. Well, anyway, I'll have to do my best to protect Eltcreed. I need to protect my employer. But I also don't have any desire to die. I still have things to accomplish in life. I would have liked Eltcreed to show some more care as well. He was too careless. I suppose it all falls to me in the end. I wonder if he is careless or just gives the impression? Hello? Oh gosh, not another loud noise. Last time this happened, it was Bad News Bears. There was a sudden loud noise. My eyes snapped open. What was that? Being woken by a sound. Just like back then. The pool of blood on the ground, the smell of iron. All my memories of that night rushed back. I had a very bad feeling. I feared for Eltcreed. At least he's next door. Sword in hand, I checked the room. Good job. Then... Again! That noise! I wasn't imagining it. I can't allow everything to happen again. This time I have to protect the others. My hand clutched the scabbard.
Where the hell is it?
That voice. Is this... I want to say this is Ulrich's theme, but I'm not sure.
It's gone! Gone! Where is it? Where did I hide it?
Yep, I was correct. Ulrich. The source of the noise was Ulrich. He was rifling through the shelves looking for something.
I shouldn't have let myself get so worked up.
No, I had made the right decision. A bad feeling must be investigated lest it prove correct. I relaxed and said Ulrich's name.
Who? Whoa! Ouch! Ow!
His head hit the shelves. Rubbing the back of his skull, he slowly stood up.
Oh, it's you. Don't scare me like that. Ow.
Sorry, but you frightened me first. I heard loud noises and thought Eltcreed was in danger.
Nope. He's sleeping like a baby after getting so drunk.
You know how drunk he is? How?
It doesn't take a genius. I don't know what he's had. He just looked drunk when I saw him earlier. I'm looking for candy while I read. If I woke you up with a noise, then I'm sorry. Very sorry. Off you go now.
That's a horrible attitude. So you're eating his candy and reading his books. He's your employer. That's really going too far.
It's fine. I get free reign here because everyone knows me.
I see. The two of you really are inseparable, huh?
Did he say that? Elt? Weirdo.
How rude. I was getting weary of him, but another question occurred to me. Ulrich, have you ever been in love?
What?
Love. Have you ever been in love, Ulrich? Probably not, I guess. Your personality is kind of horrible.
What? You... of course I have! Hasn't everyone? Don't make fun of me! And what's my personality got to do with it?
A lot, right? It matters for whether others like you. But I see. You've been in love. Where? With whom? How did it play out?
Wow, you're super into this, aren't you? What's your angle?
Eltcreed said earlier that I should fall in love. Easier said than done. I don't, know anything about relationships. So I figured I would ask you.
Oh. Yeah, no. I don't talk about private stuff like that. Apparently, you've already let yourself be shaped by Eltcreed if you're rambling about love.
Shaped?
Yeah. His weirdness is contagious, I think. You shouldn't pay attention to it. It'll just make you crazy. Just brush it off.
But he's my employer.
So? Are you going to give everything to him or something? That's stupid. What do you think of Elt anyway?
I feel like this is an important distinction between the two of you. Well, if I'm going for Eltcreed. What do I think of Eltcreed? I didn't know what kind of answer Ulrich was expecting. Eltcreed is my employer. That's all. However, as his bodyguard, I have to be by his side in times of danger. I need to understand how he thinks and how I should treat him. Don't you think so?
That's a pretty loaded question, the way you phrase it. You just want me to say yes right now. Anyway, I see. I guess it's complex for you.
Complex?
Yeah. If you really kept your work and personal matters separate, you wouldn't be thinking about him right now when you're off duty.
Are you saying this isn't normal?
It's definitely not normal how stupidly serious you are. But I guess if you really want to get to know him, don't do it half-assed. He's a lady killer.
A lady killer? Eltcreed is a murderer? And he killed a woman? No way.
What? Oh. Love is restricted over there, so I guess that word doesn't exist. Pretty funny. But it's such a hassle to explain.
But Eltcreed seems so gentle towards women. Is that how he approaches them so he can kill them?
Whoa, 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 stop. Don't let your imagination run away. Lady Killer is just, popular? Sinful?
Sinful? What could be worse than murder?
I guess that one doesn't work either. God damn the Heights.
It's alright. If you can't explain, I'll ask him directly.
It's not alright! Don't ask him that! Absolutely not! He's gonna get mad at me! Calm down, okay? Both the Lady Killer and the Sinful thing have nothing to do with murder or crimes, okay?
Really?
Really. What I really wanted to say is that if you're going to enter his private space, you're going to despair sometimes. He treats his women respectfully, but he lets them think he's more serious than he really is. You might want to look out for female and not male assassins.
I don't really understand. He's so complicated.
Yeah, I've never met anyone I understand as little as him. He's even trusting him, if you'd believe it.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Forget what I said. I'm off. Bye.
Ulrich stuffed the candy on the table into his bag and disappeared with steps as soft as a cat's. Eltcreed is being Eltcreed, but Ulrich also has a wild temperament. I wonder if that's the norm here in the depths. I won't come to any useful conclusions thinking about it right now. I should go back to sleep. More than anything, I was glad that my fears had proven groundless.